my actions can void my contract. It hurt his reputation, but more than that, he did something to a woman that us as men, we should never do.
After his Dolphins release, Johnson was left without a team. He would never play another snap in the NFL.
I think it just sucked for that to be the last memory of his NFL career. Like, you know, that's how Ocho Cinco went out. But he was much better than that. I hate the fact that it happened of his NFL career. Like, you know, that's how Ocho Cinco went out. But he was much better than that. I hate the fact that it happened cities from.
We've never talked about it. You know, act like that. It kind of is what it is type of thing. But it affected him because Shaq can still play. I think the reason he didn't get another opportunity is I do think people got the perception that it was more important the other stuff than really being a part of the football team.
I think he should be remembered for his precision as a route runner, his explosiveness, and for bringing prosperity back to the Bengals. I do not think for him he'd be taken much more seriously as a football player. Some of that stuff is going to overshadow his play, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that at all.
People don't even realize how good this guy used to be because of how distasteful the ending was.
People in suits and ties that vilify me for the things that they don't like are the same people in suits and ties excited about the celebrations with TV cameras and oh, come on, man. What I was doing, this game is about entertainment. They changed the rules because they were losing the fans. The product on the field.
Hey babe, where are my jeans and my leggings at from Maurice's?
Oh, they ain't in the house?
They were on his hair and they're not there anymore. Did you lose them?
Bro, we'll find them, bro. They in here somewhere. I can't remember. I don't know. We'll find them. Cause I remember seeing them.
Huh?
I remember seeing them. They in the house somewhere. They wasn't in that car.
No, they're not in the car. They were in the house because when I left their mother's at, I put them on that chair and I put the leggings back in the bag with the jeans.
Right.
They're missing.
No, they're here. They're in here somewhere, babe. Ain't nobody took them. Ain't nobody been in the house.
You see them?
No, they in here somewhere though, babe. Ain't nobody been in the house. We'll find them.
Dude, I moved. Stacey ain't still on.
Shit, Zannies make you steal, nigga.
Well, I'll be pissed because I'm telling you, they're not up in my closet.
We're gonna find them. We're gonna find them.
Bro, I'll be mad as fuck, bro. Cause I just thought about that. They're like MIA. They're gone. They're MIA. And they were on that rocket chair, bro.
No.
Bro, this bitch stole my jeans and my leggings, bro. I'm telling you, she stole them.
No, she did. She didn't steal.
Where are they at then?
I don't know.
They ain't nowhere downstairs. And they're not up in my closet.
Did you check Cam's room?
Why would they be in Cam's room?
I don't know. Shit ends up in there all the time that shouldn't really be in there.
Bro, this bitch stole my shit.
I don't know about that. Let's look for it when you get back.
Alright.
Alright.
É carne de porco não, né, amor? Oi?
Astounding is my hero.
Por quê?
I really believe I pray that Chad's legacy gets him to be an opportunity where he's recognized as one of the top wide receivers in the game.
Enemy near me.
Team deathmatch. We've got enemy inbound. Lock and load.
Against me. And to make it any easier, man, that's my greatest accomplishment. Making it out of my environment to the NFL. Not actually being there.
Oi? Não entendi. da puta. A minha difícil de bloquear, vou matar com ela.
As a kid, you grew up wanting to be just like your dad.
Ô mozinho, fez eu morrer, ó. Para de tiro baixo.
Hostiles in the area. Got a personal radar.
Saia da frente.
Copy. Jaguar 6-0 en route for personal radar coverage.
Bitch! You ain't even sleep.
You got the lead, soldier.
Ô, tem um monte de coisa legal ali. Dois logs não dava nem tempo.
What's wrong with your ears,
Bom,
nigga?
Jaguar 6-0, personal radar is bingo fuel. Recalling to base.
I'm out. Reloading.
So this is one of those
Blast out.
at that time I was
Enemy near Main Street.
Back out!
And my brother didn't have it.
Bitch, I killed you, blood.
Oh, yeah,
It was like music as a child.
Aí deu.
Their father, Lewis Sr., the man is a genius. And he can be very charming.
Set a claymore!
That's part of the con. He was a con artist. He could charm you right out of your clothes.
Bitch!
He was spending all our money.
Enemy at the warehouse.
And second. And that was the end.
Allied cluster strike inbound.
He left. It was two. He didn't see him again.
Enemy halfway there. Stress up.
I'm out. Reloading.
Come on.
Yeah, got it.
After that, I believe he was involved with extortion, prostitution. He had gotten into drugs. I didn't want my kids exposed to that. I didn't keep them away.
I'm with you.
I've never felt so close to the Nephilim, the giants, stuff. They
Bitch, I'm respecting bitch. I'm dead, though. What's up?
Are you using your earnings encoder?
No, use the PA with the blue one.
Alright, I'm just getting 2 liters and 1 cheddar chips in the store.
Alright.
And I'll get a refire. That's all.
Closing our window. Time to move. Friendly UAV overhead. Hands up, move your arm.
Reloading.
Enemy in the courtyard.
Fuck!
Contact.
Enemy at the tire shop.
He started crying. I'd never seen him cry.
Oh,
It's
we
over.
very low.
We're RTB. Move out.
That's what I want to know.
That was dope. Good shit.
Drugs, drinking, I was doing cocaine, I was popping pills, and I was on this world fucked up.
He was even smoking crack at the time. He was selling it and doing it. He ended up getting in trouble, bringing drugs.
Nigga was smoking crack, nigga. I knew he was smoking crack.
I shouldn't have. Drugs, drinking, I was doing cocaine, I was popping pills, and I was out of this world fucked up.
He was even smoking crack at the time. He was selling it and doing it. He ended up getting in trouble, bringing drugs back and forth between Texas and Louisiana. Who ended up spending 3 months in jail.
I just got out of jail. I'm like, I need a job. I'm not just gonna be a bum. But it's like, because of the arrest, I couldn't find a job anywhere. And there was a chance meeting in the grocery store that helped me change my life around. TCF Bank is set up inside of grocery stores. So I'm opening the account and this girl comes up to me. So I'm just bullshitting with her and oh, you guys hiring here? She's like, yeah, come work, blah, blah, blah. I put in an application, but I didn't really think anything of it. And I got a call. And she's like, well, we're going to offer you the assistant manager job at this amount of pay.
Kind of noticed a big change in him. He had his own apartment. He was the bank manager at a TCF bank. He had a nice car, it was paid off, no car payment. He looked like he had a steady income and like he was doing real good.
then one day, completely unexpected, my dad was on the news.
Today, charges have been filed against Louis H. Early for robbing a bank in New York.
Kind of shocked me to see what real dad. He's on the news, he robbed the bank, he's wanted, I'm like, up, he did this, he did that. I knew something was bad was gonna happen, but I didn't want to focus on that. So I was just out living my life. And then one day, I opened my phone up, and as soon as I turned on, it's like, real dad calling me. And he's like, hello? I'm like, hello? He's like, who's this? I'm like, who's this? He's like, it's Lou. I'm like, this is Lou too. There was a hatred in me that I kind of wanted to curse them out, but like, it just kind of like went away. And there was like an awkward pause, and I was like, so what's up, bro? What you been? And then we kind of had a conversation. I was just like catching up with somebody I haven't seen in a whole long time, and then he was like, you know, I'm not the best father, I made some mistakes. I just got out on probation. I got in some trouble, I don't want to go back. I'm going on the lam. He's like, I want to come out there and see you. So I'm like, come on. I'm not gonna tell my dad, well, don't turn yourself into prison. I went to go meet my dad for the first time. As a kid, you grow up wanting to be just like your dad. You wanted to be just like him. There was no uncomfortableness. It was just like two friends that haven't seen each other in forever, just picking up and going right at it, you know? I wanted him to perceive me as tough. I don't want him to think I'm like some bumbling crybaby who missed his dad all these years. I want him to see I'm a grown man now. What's up?
Louis Sr. came here to rob banks.
So yeah, we're gonna go rob a bank, and then we'll rob yours. I'm like, okay.
I don't want to say this is a robbery.
So I'm sitting there like, what if the cops show up?
Hey everybody, I'm Carrie Champion, that is Jamel Hill, and we are Black Women.
How many shows on TV feature two Black women whose opinions are driving the show? You like funny, you like opinionated, and you always have to be able to leave me thinking, right.
You can tell me if LeBron tests positive for COVID, they don't tell us. The hope in this show is to talk about everything that is uncomfortable. That's the only time you have real change. Carrie and Jamel stick to sports. New series premieres Wednesday, August 19th at 10 on Fox.
I finally just met my dad, and well, when I got to know him, I felt like I kind of discovered part of it. I discovered what I've been missing for the year. He had this grand plan. He wanted to open banking accounts and basically write hot checks from one to the other, float them back and forth. He said, I need a couple grand. I remember just driving around thinking like, man, why are we wasting our time? I know my dad's robbed banks before. Why doesn't he just do it again? This time I work at a bank, I know how to do it. I brought it up to him, like, I work at a bank, I know what to do. I didn't want to lose him. I didn't want him to go back to jail. I was like, you gotta rob the bank, and let's rob the bank.
She can't fidget stuff, man. That bitch is little as fuck.
That don't mean she can't sell it.
Yeah. Well, we would have seen her though, because we was with her.
I have my jeans and my leggings in the bag together.
I'm watching this show. Just keep looking. Look around.
It was down here, bro.
Whatever I wanted. Travel amounts of drugs, liquor, trips, different women, wars. We got about 30 seconds left. I should have never got involved in her mixed up in it. Like,
after I got caught, I was 26 years old. I didn't have a wife. The girlfriend I was with at the time, I didn't even care to be with her.
God, I threw them right there on the damn.
To be honest with you, the biggest attachment I
or
had
the clothes
was that I wanted it with my father.
I only grabbed one and threw it on the clothes.
So if you get caught, you know, it was you trying to help your dad out. So I was like, let's rob a bank.
Facilitate the robbery. It's 4 basic things. 1, never show the weapon in a bank. You don't want to display or use a gun, ever. The first one is 5 years consecutive, and then it goes 25 consecutive for every count. 2, never go over the counter. If you go over the counter, it's a takeover. And now you're talking 25 years instead of 5 or 6. 3, never strike or touch anybody. If you do, it's an assault instead of 5 years. And 4, never tell anybody in the bank to move from one place to another. It's also a great way to get a hell of a lot more time.
I think the whole reason Lewis Sr. came here was to rob banks. That was his life. You know, he had done this before, so he knew what to do. And what better than to bring your son in with you, in his eyes.
Stream 85 plus live channels with no hidden fees. YouTube TV. Try it free.
Tony, you texting her?
Yeah.
No, we can find it. Oh, you had already started talking crazy to her? Where'd you find that?
Way back in my closet.
Goof ass.
My leggings aren't there though. My jeans are on my leggings.
Your leggings is somewhere around here. I gotta take that thing back to finish line today. Them jeans, because I want them jeans. I just want the right side.
And you know, the TCF base in the area.
Because they can send them back for me. Because I can't, I don't know how, like, I don't know, they can do it faster than I can. Because that's where I got them jeans, was through finish line.
You guys have more in your
Little
mall?
shopping center.
I don't know.
Right here when you
I was going to go to Southern Park. I don't know.
This is where the
Oh,
branch
I was
was.
gonna take my jeans so I can get my size
He's
in.
like, you ready for this kid? Okay.
I'm
He's like, you sure? We need a test run first.
Just make sure you got your new shoes on, we can match.
Yeah, I will.
You want to make sure that I was being serious about
I
robbing
want
the
a
bank.
haircut.
So we're going to go rob a bank, and then we'll rob yours. I'm like, okay.
Messing up all my deals.
Which is the lyric position?
I'm trying to take whatever I got left over. I gotta buy some drugs today to
So you're
try
not
to
going there?
because I'm not gonna have no money next week to buy drugs.
What's your plan, Jeff?
The plan is to buy at least, I don't know.
Alright, so you're going to county then. So you're going.
No, I'm a go, bro. If Brandy don't fucking put me in this thing by tomorrow, I'm going to county next week. Because Jamie's not gonna let me leave, bro. I gotta call, man. I gotta call him again. What's the number?
I thought you were going to be out for the weekend for Maya.
Damn, who the fuck called me this early?
It was probably Brandy, huh?
Nah, them people called me that from that house at 6:45 a.m.
What house? What are you talking about?
over on Cambridge.
For real?
Yeah. It says 6:45 a.m.
Why'd they call you?
I don't know.
That's weird. Why would they call you at 6:45
I
a.m.?
don't know.
I wonder if that was a mistake.
Get down, Nick. Get out of her face while she eats. This is a good show I'm watching. I woke up, it was cold as hell in here. Did you have the AC on all night?
Yeah. You didn't turn the
No, I dialed the wrong number. I'm trying to get the men's center.
You ain't got the heat on.
Why
you?
ain't this the men's center?
You got the AC on still, right?
Meridian Men's Center.
But
Meridian Men's Center. Here you go.
Hold on. So this must dial them as soon as they don't have it.
you got the AC on, right?
Yeah, Skiz, can you transfer me to admissions?
Admissions?
Yes.
Just 1 moment.
This ain't good, what I need. You got like confused.
You got the AC on?
Yeah, baby. It's hot outside. I didn't touch it, but it was cold last night. I was freezing.
Are you good? I'll record your message. When you are finished, hang up.
Dude, this bitch never answers.
Randy, this is Dan. Don't want to call me back today at 330 James Mason 330-531-4299. Please. Thank you. I'll call back.
You always call her at like 12 though. It's 11:37.
I do always call her around noon. Still don't mean she can't call me back. Why you got every cheese that we own in the fucking country?
Because I know you were in a one-time.
Bro, this shit, time's ticking, man. Like, I woke up today and I realized like I got like a couple of days left for free.
Yeah, I know, man. Trust me, I've been thinking about it with you. I keep having fucking crazy dreams and shit. I feel like you're going away forever, and you're not. You're not going away forever.
6 months is forever, man. She can give me 6 months. Easy. No problem.
You didn't even reoffend.
She can give me 6 months. I done heard a gang of niggas get.
So we drove around up with another bank.
That didn't reoffend.
Well,
I found the fifth.
yeah, usually they reoffend, but
Exactly.
The reason why it was a good target was its location.
They give you 6 months for the
There was a
violation
street
and then give you more
adjacent
time
to it
for
where
a new
parking
charge.
jumped in the car.
Violation is its own thing anyway, so it don't matter if you reoffend or not.
Yeah,
You get
she
violated.
said that you didn't reoffend.
But on violation, she can only give you the time that you go on probation for. So that year,
You go through
if I
security
reoffended and I caught a 5-year
So
charge,
you know the
she
ins
can
and
only give
outs
me a
of
year
if you
for that
get robbed, what you're
violation.
supposed
So
to
a
do.
violation is a violation.
So I knew firsthand they're supposed to follow your orders to a T. They say don't push that panic button till I leave. They're not supposed to push that panic button until you leave. If you tell them don't give you the die packs, they're not supposed to. Robert might come back and kill you for disobeying an order. You're not trained to be heroic to save the day. No, your life is more important than the money that's federally insured.
Yeah, federally.
So we sat down and went through over all this.
How did you get a job in a bank and you're a felon?
Now at the time I'm on the run, we agreed that if we did the next day, we were going to go to Vegas. All the money basically, just trying to stay together. First of all, we agreed that my son was responsible for getting the city down there. He was the wheelman, he kept the car running. And I went in.
It's hard to explain the feeling. Definitely nervous. But I overthink things all my whole life, you know, so I'm sitting there like, what if the cops show up?
Two offices, two tellers, bank management. And I went up, said, hey, this is a robbery. It looked like an FBI agent or two came streaking by us.
I was just praying that none of it exploded. Some say being smart makes you cocky. It does.
And trust, music doesn't need cognac to exist. Cognac doesn't need music. That's the beauty of it. They were meant to meet.
You in that?
Smart
Rusher got some
makes
part
you
of that?
cocky. It does.
1738. I thought that was
So we're here in Baghdad. We're in Moscow, Washington.
Mexico.
Flint, Michigan.
yeah, I thought they rocked on that. 17, but you don't.
To change.
Said it, it's Remy Martin.
I think it's become so close. You can't die.
These people who have died of COVID-19.
What is it that you want the rest of the world to see happening here? Vice News tonight, Monday to Thursday at 11 on Vice.
Why are you like full dress? I'm like, ow. Why is relaxing? Why aren't we relaxing?
Oh man, it seemed like forever. There was a million thoughts racing through my head. To catch him, to get locked into the bank. Is there a security guard with a gun in there that shot him?
They sent the money up on the counter. And right out, 25 seconds, maybe a minute times.
Once I seen him walking and there was nobody behind him following him, I was like, okay, we got away with it. He jumped in the car and he tried to drive. Got it, everything okay? Yeah, let's go.
This rare feeling, the alarm went off. It looked like an FBI agent or two came screaming by us.
And I was flying. He stopped at any stop sign. I just remember looking in the rearview mirror the whole time, looking over at him as he's going through all the money. Because he really had it just all stuffed into his jacket and he was pulling it out. He was pulling it out, going through it. And I'm like praying that none of it exploded. There was no backpacks. I'm trying to drive and I'm like checking the money. And when I seen it was like one of those GPS tracking bundles. Fuck! So I grabbed it. I'm like playing with it. I'm like, yeah, there's some heart in it. There's some heart in it. And then I opened the window and just chucked it out the window. Money out. It was about 10 grand. I took 2 grand. Gave him the rest.
What? You gave your dad the rest of that money.
Went out to a strip club. Picked up one of the girls that worked for me that escort service and another girl that I know. Went back to the hotel.
Wow.
About 5 in the morning.
After we robbed that bank, I needed help. So I brought my car to Gino, my younger brother. Hey, what's up? I said, Gino, listen, take this envelope.
At the time of the night, I did think it was a little strange.
Okay, clean your car. I was like, wipe everything down, bleach, vacuum it, do whatever you need to do. Just clean it better than you clean anything in your life. I'll call you when I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, everything all right? Yeah. Try to ask him what's going on, is everything okay? But he kind of just brushed me away. The money he gave me, I thought it was actually income tax money for our mother. I put it up in a shoebox and hid it in my closet. I did what he wanted me to do, like any brother would.
There was a sense of, okay, good. You got away with this one, but he's still here. Now I got more time to spend with my dad. Let's see what else we can do.
After a few days, we went to the second night. He said, "You ready?" I said, "Yes."
We went to Radio Shack and got some police scanners for when we robbed my bank. Some say being smart makes you cocky. It does. It really does. Because I had planned to a T and I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to get caught. This is basically the layout of the bank. Well, the next couple of days were spent talking about the plan. He was going to be parked over here at the restaurant. I called the day before, made up a story like my car was parked outside. Somebody hit the car and drove off. Do you guys have security footage? Like, sorry, unfortunately we don't have cameras. So I was like, okay, well, we can park the car there. After that, I told my father, come in, I'll be working at the teller line. You should come when I'm closing. It's gonna be me and one other teller. You don't want to walk up to the teller and rob the teller. The teller's only got $6 grand in her drawer at most. I'll have money ordered from the Federal Reserve. If you're gonna rob the bank, you want the vault. Say you have to open an account, I'm the manager, so I have to let you in the office. Then we can just do a little show for the camera. You talk to me and act like you got a gun. You ain't even gotta say nothing, there's just a camera there. And I'll just open the safe with my key, put all the money in your bag. Once you get the money, Dad, just tell us to sit down and then you can leave. Now what happens is I have to press the panic button. The security company is gonna call and then they gotta notify the police. So what I'll do is I'll count in my head what I think is enough time for you to get to the car. And by the time I push the button, you should be driving off. By the time the security company calls, you'll be long gone. We won't have to worry about any of that. I think I picked the gun up the day before the robbery.
Walked up, just went in.
It's unusual that someone got to the vault inside of a grocery store.
Well, I did everything in my power to hinder their investigation. If they catch me, they're gonna have to kill me.
City to city, coast to coast, Lockmaster Sage Thomas races his cars.
We got 1,000. What do you got? I want about $30,000. That's my job. I gotta put kids in college.
American classics and works of art built for speed.
I want to take him down.
You're running that high rate speed, so anything can happen.
Stream 85 plus channels of live TV with unlimited DVR. YouTube TV, so try it free.
Donkmaster. New series premieres Wednesday, August 19th at 10:30 on Vice.
The day before the robbery, I just happened to be out one day eating lunch, and there was a gun shop. Well, I'm looking around with what they have, and there was like this little firearm. The guys go, oh, it's a collector's item. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, I want it. And I bought the gun.
How? You're a felon! This nigga's getting chopped by guns.
My dad took the gun with him because he had this grand plan, like, if they catch me, I'm going to shoot it out. They're going to have to kill me. He didn't rob the bank with the gun. He didn't need it. And it was just in case something happened afterward.
It's calling from the federal prison.
I had taken my hands from the fingernail polish, so that there would be no fingerprints left. Walked up, just went in.
What happened was I was working, standing on the teller line, and I watched my dad walking right through the door. And I was like, okay, here we go.
You don't work at a bank, works at a grocery store.
He was behind the counter with one of the tellers. Went up and he walked into his office, which was adjacent to the wall. I said, this is a robbery. Just a robbery. He closed the door and into the wall. Instructed him to empty the money into the bag. No tie tags. No marked money.
I just gave him the bills. I made sure he got the bulk of it.
I told him to count to 200 before he do anything. We'll have police scanner with me. If you call anyone, I'm going to need you to get hurt. And I left.
60 bands?
He left with all the money. He had talked about stopping at the apartment and leaving some cash there. But then he was like, well, what if they come to your house requesting and find money? So I was like, I don't care, take it. So he left with 60 grand.
I told you the vault be having a gang of bread.
Yeah, but the vault.
Checked on a hotel. We agreed that I would call him later that night. But we knew that the FBI would be interviewing him.
I work at a small satellite office in the Chicago division of the FBI. I work all the violent crimes, including bank robberies. And the detectives called me and asked me to come out to the bank robbery in Wheaton, Illinois. It's unusual that someone got to the vault at a TCF bank, which is inside a grocery store. Interviewed several witnesses. Lewis Burley, he actually started crying uncontrollably when I interviewed him, which I found very unusual. Being a big guy, I'd never seen that before.
When like the police and everybody came, I know questions they were gonna ask. No training. I did everything in my power to hinder their investigation. I mean, I'm like crying and put on this whole story about, oh, can I do my job? I should have did something. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. That night, my dad calls. We had a code where he would call in and I'd be like, did you order a pizza? It was basically our way of knowing it was free and clear to talk. Did you order a pizza? And I was like, no. He was like, oh, okay. I was like, no, I'm just like, yeah. Because he told me that kid. And I told him it all worked. It all worked. He was supposed to send a MoneyGram. He sent the money, but he used my brother's name instead. You know, he was smart. He's like, you don't want to go to BNC and pick up $1,000, $2,000 after your bank was just robbed.
Lewis told me, you have a MoneyGram, they need you to go pick it up as soon as you can. I did what I had to do. I believe it was $1,500. He told me to give him $500. He told me I can keep the $1,000 and do whatever I want with it. I had no idea where the money was from, so I spent it on me and him.
I was running again. I just, I'm not going back to jail. I'm not going to get jammed up on this. Decided to go see if I could find, another girl I had been involved with. Since I came through upstate New York, she texted me and asked me she was at her sister's house. But her sister wasn't going to be there. I told him, I've got all this money. That's thousands of dollars. Went inside. Got blown.
Got a blowjob. I knew he got a blowjob.
She then got a text on her phone. She said, oh, my sister is coming back. She wasn't supposed to. Let's go down to the city. Let's go get a hotel.
Yeah, she's going to set him up. How you know she's going to set him up? He shouldn't have told her that. He shouldn't have told her he had like a red.
We went out, stepped off the porch, turned back around, and I saw somebody coming from behind me.
Why the fuck would he tell her he had all that bread?
$71,000 worth of cash.
I look out my apartment window and I seen a cop car out there. He didn't listen.
They told me it was Lewis Early.
I'm like, oh shit.
Hey everybody, I'm Carrie Champion, that is Jamel Hill, and we are Black Women.
How many shows on TV feature two black women whose opinions are driving the show? We like funny, we like opinionated, and you always have to be able to leave me thinking,
Right. You need to tell me if we're on test positive for COVID, they don't tell us. The hope in this show is to talk about everything that is uncomfortable. That's the only time you have real change. Carrie and Jamel, stick to sports. New series premieres Wednesday, August 19th at 10 on Vice.
Oh, okay, Pop.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't trust no bitch. Especially stuck in your dick, dumb.
Right.
Duh.
Damn,
my nigga pulled out the burner. So it's got the blowing on his ass. Like, bitch, you ain't about to rob me.
About 4:35 in the morning, went back to her house.
Yeah. Yeah, hot her ass.
Left your car out front. And I completely trashed your car.
Yeah, that's all you need. She wasn't gonna kill you, let her live, man. They would just hit him with a pipe and don't take the bread.
Went back.
You said kill her?
To the hotel.
No, I'm saying he should have done none of that. He should have done
I've been up maybe 2 or 3 days.
Pop's stomach is big as shit. Hit him with the blower, like, and dude, I wonder if he hit dude.
Our sheriff's office received a report from a young lady in the village of Fort Byron. She had been menaced with a handgun and some damage to her car.
What? Oh, she was
Looking
salty.
at the phone records, I determined that the suspect, who we identified as Lewis Gurley, and began searching where the suspect might be in relation to where his cell phone was utilizing cell phone towers in the area.
What the fuck did the feds get that call for? That's some
Narrowed that
normal
down
shit.
to about a half-mile radius.
So she told on him?
Time out.
She told on him?
So she let them know that he was the one who had a bunch of bread on him?
That's
he probably told her he robbed the bank.
He said
Thought
he had
you
a
might
couple
be
thousand
staying in
dollars.
places where somebody traveling from out of the area might be staying. It didn't take us long to find his car at the record bit.
She was a piece of shit. Man, they put down on the
We had it, Mr. Gurley was asleep at the time.
Oh, they gonna get the whole bag.
We noticed a bag that contained a significant amount of U.S. currency, $51,000 worth of cash in that bag, along with a loaded handgun.
The whole plan blew up. Just stupid. The bricks of $100 bills were already packaged.
Oh.
And I just got rolled.
Oh.
All that money I told you I had to order from the Federal Reserve? Well, when you get money from the Federal Reserve, you gotta count it, verify it, sign off on it, and stamp it.
Oh.
It's the straps with my name and initials on it.
Oh.
I told him like that, make sure you rip all these off and throw them away.
Oh.
That's the only thing to trace the money back to. They're not gonna trace the serial numbers, it's the straps. He didn't listen.
Oh my God.
I get transported back to Cleveland County.
What
I wait about 6, maybe 8 hours. And the FBI comes in. They said, listen, we're going after your son. I said, no. So I ended up entering what's called a blind plea. I filed documents saying that I robbed both banks and that I possessed a gun.
We knew what the serial number of the gun was. We went to the sporting goods shop where he bought it. He being Junior Gurley. Louis Sergio Gurley.
No? He fucking football plan.
I was sick. I wanted to kill him.
They wasn't gonna be able to put his son in it. Because he was gonna say, no, I did this without my son knowing. But because of that gun, his son bought that gun. It's gonna tie his son in now.
I was senior for what, involving my son, but then Lou was grown and he makes his own decisions. I was in shock. I couldn't believe that Lou would do something like that, Lou Jr.
I love this song.
My life was just normal. And then Friday, I went to work at the bank, got off, went home, and I took a nap before I was going to go to work at the nightclub, doing security for the bank job, didn't pay enough. I was sleeping, and I wake up, I look out my apartment window, and I seen a cop car out there. But I see my phone, and it's a text message from my regional manager. Wheaton bank robbery in custody. I'm like, oh shit.
I called my brother and I was like, hey, what's going on?
He's like, oh, nothing. I was like, oh, okay. I remember asking him, hey, have you talked to Dad lately? I can't talk about Dad. I gotta go. And I'm like, hold on. Why are you acting weird right now? Right there, I knew, okay, alarmed.
I kind of panicked. I go out the other entrance, drove around the back of the building.
Summer Shandy. Tastes like beer, lemonade, and summertime. Blind Coons. Flavor the moment.
Drove around the back of the building. Drove over the grass. And I went straight to the club where the guy was working security. Walked in and we went and found Andre, the nightclub manager. Andre's like a father figure. I love him to death. The way the place is set up is there was a bar and a nightclub. Me and him were in the nightclub. I was like, let me talk to you.
Come on, Louis, what did you do?
We robbed the bank. And he's like, what?
I was really disappointed. I knew that it wasn't going to end pretty. It wasn't going to end right. Right.
Louis Early Jr. He was working at a nightclub. I had an arrest warrant for him.
The FBI was at the front door, and they were looking for Louis. All the thoughts went in my head, like, no.
The FBI agents, they did the good cop, bad cop. I was like, listen, I'm not answering any more questions. Either charge me or leave me the f alone.
My brother was facing some serious time.
Today's headline, a father and son accused of robbing a bank together have had charges filed against them.
I think I really wanted to believe that nobody would ever do that to their son intentionally.
He lied, he sold me up this river, he's a piece of shit. Yeah.
About 30 yards from here, there's a solid wall of riot police officers.
If they hurt us, I'm gonna do something bad. I'm not gonna just take it.
Ooh! Hey, Safari taking us down the street front. I'm impressed.
I'm not still being filled. We can't take a knee. We can't protest. What do you want us to do?
Vice News tonight, Monday to Thursday at 11 on Vice.
I love Vice.
The FBI agents, they were like, you know why we're here? My regional manager said you guys got the bank robbery. Do you know who he is? I'm like, no. You sure he's got the same name as you? What? You Louis Early? I'm like, wait, my dad? Are you serious? Like, I don't know my dad. Like, he left when I was a kid. And they were like, you're lying to us. He told us everything.
We had found the father wired money to a half-brother. Louis Early Jr. was upset by it. He at first denied anything, and then when we talked to him a little bit about what we had found, he admitted that, yes, I received the money.
Now my brother's involved. So I'm freaking out. No, leave Gino alone. He has nothing to do with this. I'm like, all right, well, I'll plead guilty, whatever you want. Just leave my baby brother out of it.
A father and son accused of robbing a bank together have had charges filed against them. According to police, on March 18th, Louis H. Early walked into the TCF Bank at Wheaton where his son was working as the bank's branch manager. Louis S. Early loaded cash into a bag for his father. Police also suspect they may be responsible for a robbery in the neighborhood.
They should have known they weren't going to be able to get away with it as father.
And so then when I went for sentencing, the judge, he was like, do you have anything to say? I'm like, yeah, I want to tell my family I'm sorry I let you guys down again. Like, Gino, I'm sorry I brought you even into this. And the judge is like, your dad put you in this situation. I'm like, I hate him right now, but it sucks that I'm in this, but you know what? He's still my dad. I still care about what happens to him. I got blessed. He gave it to my boy.
I wasn't facing anything. I look back at it as, I wish he never did it.
Oh, he
I
got
know
my
him for a
idea.
long time,
Oh,
but
he
I
is from
lost him
Chicago. Because
quite
I was
well
going to get
for
the
2
Cleveland
years, and
Indians.
it was terrible without him.
He
Those
got the
times.
Chicago Bull on the back of his cab.
Didn't talk to him
Dope.
much. It was
But I want the
rough.
Cleveland Indian on the back of mine because I'm
Like
from
I said,
Ohio.
I just wish he never did it.
It was a relief that it was only 2 years, but to think of my son in prison scared the hell out of me.
2 years is a long time.
It was very heartbreaking. We were all crying. If it hadn't been for that gun, Lou probably would have gotten probation.
Yep. Just like I said.
He never would have went to a federal prison.
Nope. That damn gun. We got 13 years and 4 months. Dang.
Judge sentenced me 100 months for both of the banks, and I got a 60-month consecutive term for having a weapon.
Woo! Why?
Not using it and displaying it, but just for simply having it. I feel horrendous. I basically destroyed his life. I'm trying, and I will try to do everything I can.
They'll be having them kind of sinks in the regular prison system. In federal prison, be getting a good sinks.
I'm not about that life anymore.
He works at a library. Get the fuck out of here. How you get a library job?
People make mistakes in life. I was young, I was dumb. Doesn't mean that's the type of person I am. I have to feel I paid for it. I'm moving forward. I'm doing better things in life now, helping others. So that maybe they don't make the same mistakes I did. I'm currently trying to get a law degree.
Oh, how? For
inmates
what?
that help get their sentences overturned, clemencies. I've helped my aunt with her eviction, helped a friend of mine get custody of his son back. Whatever people need, I try to help them with.
That ain't gonna work.
In 5 years, I'd like to have my own office, own law practice. And my father, well, he's bad, but no. Since I've been out of prison and being able to see him frequently and talk to him daily, we've developed it's a stronger bond than I've ever had with him before.
I think I've learned now that I'm not going to sabotage anymore. I owe that to my son, my grandson, my daughter Tiffany, to everyone.
One thing that my brother is so passionate about is being there for his son, especially because we didn't grow up with our dad.
Yeah, I have one child, he's 5, he'll be 6 in December. I've taken care of him every day since he was born. I always tell him I have a son, and I'm giving him my name. So my son is Louis Sergio William Early II.
He's a great father. And I think his son is what keeps him on the straight and narrow now.
Uh-oh. It's got to land on the table.
Wanna watch another one?
Sure. Let's watch something different though, not about
Are you cold?
Yeah. I gotta work it. I'm about to make a s'more. Watch out, get down. Get down, get down. Oh. Oh. Damn, my back is so bad, bro.
Yeah, mine's too.
Yeah. S'more time. S'more time. I need to put
You ain't got no chocolate for s'mores.
I don't eat chocolate with s'mores.
What?
Yeah, I don't like chocolate. Me and Lady did it the other day at my mom's.
What y'all do?
We made s'mores.
Without chocolate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom didn't have no chocolate.
Y'all tripping.
Alright, one more.
Oh,
What we want to watch? I don't know what I want to watch.
They don't have anything else. They just have Robin Dance.
Oh, there's all kind of stuff on this Vice. Ooh. Making my way downtown. Alright, alright.
A word, please. A word is, just a word is.
What? Yeah. Bro, I got like a thing in my back, bro. Like, that's like bad though. Like, not even like, it's like one of the things that like, you even like rub it though. You know what I'm saying? I'm so good. Gone. I have no leader. Alright, I got some makeup this week. Can I put some marshmallows in my way? What is all that black shit?
From that thing, you can see it.
What happened? What'd you put in there?
Nothing. It was just doing that. It was doing that for like a day.
Could I maybe be spraying it? Put spray on there? Maybe not wiping it good enough? Is that what it's from? Bro, they like fried our microwave. I've sprayed it before and it never did that.
I wonder what time.
They're good. Ketchup on that? Why? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What you put in there? It's doing it now. It's gotta have something. Maybe it's doing plates or something. Try. Why is it doing that now? That's what it was doing. That's what it was doing. What just happened? Exactly what happened. Wow, dude.
How come you just did it and I didn't do it?
I don't know. Maybe it's needing plates or something.
There's nothing wrong with the plates.
Brown sugar. Damn, brown sugar gets so hard.
Can't put plates in there.
That's what it is. It's them plates.
Can't put no plates in there.
Them fucking plates, man.
Oh. Well, yep. Started doing it again.
Yeah.
Bro, this microwave.
You got to see how it works, though.
It's done, bro. This microwave's done, bro. I gotta either wipe that off or our microwave's done, bro.
Oh, no.
I don't understand.
They're not real expensive. We can get one next week. It's just going to have to wait till next
We
week.
got to. I ain't having no microwave like that. All that black shit in there like that. That shit smells.
It stinks, man. They made Nipsey one.
That microwave is brand new, bro.
I know. That's a really nice microwave. Did your mom get us that microwave?
No, we walked out of Walmart without microwave.
Oh, your mom got us the first one.
Yeah.
The first one we had was huge.
Yeah, we got.
She got a big.
At Ollie's. Got that from Ollie's.
What happened to that one?
It broke. It just stopped working. Remember?
Yeah, that one went bad too.
It just stopped working out of nowhere.
Microwaves are just. We just having bad luck with microwaves.
What's this? I'll look at the Facebook.
Yeah.
To Facebook. I mean, it used to be cool, right?
It's massively problematic.
My entire youth is archived on Facebook, from the good times to the bad times. Now it's become this toxic political wasteland. When did it start pulling apart the fabric of our society?
We certainly have a big responsibility to make sure that we address all of the new threats that come from the internet.
Self-regulation simply does not work. These companies are too powerful. These companies control what we see.
We should absolutely be terrified about Facebook.
Where is everybody? Is everybody at home on Facebook? Facebook?
Vaping illness blamed. Antifa is carrying out e-cigarettes against e-cigarettes, and us parents should know.
As clickbait headlines warp our view of the world, we're going down the rabbit hole to ask, how afraid should we really be? On this episode, Facebook.
QAnon crackdown. Facebook banning pages devoted to the French conspiracy movement.
Australia's government is slamming Facebook's decision to block users in the country from all news content on its platform.
We have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works.
Facebook to me is not cool, but I guess more people than ever are using it, despite that it always seems to be in a bit of hot water. I was once a very active user of Facebook. I'm not kidding when I say my youth is archived on the platform. But after 2016, things got weird.
I guess 2016 was a wake-up call for the world about how Facebook could be used to spread disinformation. What happened was that the Russian government, using the Internet Research Agency out of St. Petersburg, was able to set up groups and accounts that pretended to be on both sides of the island. They saw that they could very easily use Facebook to make these incendiary comments that would drive people crazy, and by doing that they were just pitting people against each other and hoping that they would clash. They did. What they wanted to do was just create chaos so that you wouldn't know if the person you were looking at or the comment you were looking at was written by your friend or by someone in St. Petersburg.
Since then, the company has claimed to have made a number of changes to counter election interference.
We've been able to build systems that can proactively identify a lot of those efforts at this point.
But Pandora's box was already open.
What Russia did in 2016 was kind of show people how you don't have to tell the truth on Facebook.
Flash forward to 2020, I've seen a lot of COVID skepticism play out on Facebook.
It seems way too perfect, and now that we all of a sudden have a vaccine, seems a little perfect too.
I believe in the science of vaccines. I don't think what's in the needle is all good for you. I think there's stuff in the needle that's very harmful.
I get news from Facebook, obviously, because the national news just doesn't seem to be hitting anywhere anymore.
During this lockdown, I really had the time to okay, I'm going to sit down and spend 2 hours on this interview with this doctor and see what's going on here.
There's so much information out there. There's the black, there's the white, and there's everything in the middle, which is fucking confusing.
As public officials wavered in their COVID-19 response.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light.
Conspiracy theories were amplified on social media. Then in May, the conspiracy documentary, Plandemic, became a viral hit and was widely shared on Facebook.
The first thing I saw that got really censored hardcore was the Plandemic video.
There is no dissenting voices allowed anymore in this free country, which is something I never thought I would live to see.
Well, the documentary was only on Facebook for less than a week. It had been viewed millions of times, and the removal of the video only created more alarm bells surrounding censorship.
So how does Facebook decide what's fake and what's real?
Facebook moderates posts through user complaints and machine learning. Artificial intelligence does a quick scan of the post to validate the complaint before it is passed to one of 15,000 human moderators to determine if the post goes against the company's community guidelines.
It's not just right-wing, MAGA-loving anti-vaxxers that spread misinformation on Facebook.
Everyone from the far left to the far right is capable of spreading disinformation, even unintentionally. This photo is real, but put a fake quote from Donald Trump's mother on it, and you've got shareable fake content.
Disinformation, it depends on what side you're defending or what you believe.
But with more than 2.74 billion active users across the globe, moderating Facebook is a gargantuan task.
It's a constant game of kind of, okay, we're trying to stop this problematic content, but something else is going to come along a couple of days later to challenge us again.
David Gilbert has been reporting on Facebook for years, and recently documented the platform's laundering of the QAnon conspiracy, from its origins on message boards to the mainstream.
QAnon initially started to move into the mainstream about a year ago, at the beginning of the pandemic. When lockdown happened, people were at home, and a lot more people started getting into it.
While QAnon was still being passed around fringe corners of the internet, like 4chan and 8kun, users started bringing it onto Facebook.
People within the QAnon community saw what was happening, saw that more people were coming to it from a very much mainstream audience. So what they did was they shifted the message to kind of strip away the QAnon and a lot of the really out there conspiracy theories, and they focused essentially on the Save the Children campaign. That's how a lot of people got so-called red pill.
QAnon organizers began using the hashtag Save the Children to recruit followers on mainstream platforms. Meanwhile, the legitimate century-old charity Save the Children had to release a statement that they were unaffiliated with campaigns using their name and hashtag, which became an internet gateway drug to push believers into the deeper, darker parts of the QAnon conspiracy, with bizarre, baseless claims ranging from Hillary Clinton is the leader of a cabal that drinks the blood of children, and that a great storm would come in which Donald Trump would defeat the deep state.
Facebook was warned about it a long time before they took any action. And they did take action, they took action late summer. It was pretty effective. They got rid of most of the big groups. But